Welcome to Beyond Normal Days, episode 9. I'm your host, Guillermo. This month's guest on the podcast is Keenan from Whittier, California. He's a DJ and producer who isn't a stranger to the LA Underground. He is part of the duo Gyration station and represents RUSE in Los Angeles. I was introduced to Keenan a couple years ago through mutual friends and his associations to Textual, the collective and label ran by 138. I was pumped on getting the chance to talk to him and hear his perspective on the evolution of the electronic music scene in LA. As natives to the LA rave and electronic music scene, Keenan and his friends experienced true and authentic moments while DJing and partying. Within the interview, Keenan talks about his initial experiences in the music scene, from going to house parties to later hosting and DJing them with his friends. We discuss his trips to Europe alongside his Textual brothers and what we can expect from him and his RUSE family, who are holding it down for the LA Underground. Make sure to check out his collaborative track with Suerte called Mas Ass. I premiered the track in episode 5 of the podcast. You can find the track on his SoundCloud page, Keenan, spelled K333NAN. Expect new music from Keenan soon, so follow him on Twitter at peaceboner with 3 R's at the end, and on Instagram at gyration_station. Make sure to follow Beyond Normal on Twitter, which is at beyondnormal_, and on Instagram at beyondnormalofficial. Thank you all for listening, and please welcome Keenan.
ride the white horse. White horse. Don't ride the white horse. White horse. Don't ride the white horse. No, no, no. If you wanna be rich, you got to be a bitch. You got to be a bitch. I said rich. Rich. You bitch.
to Friday, Friday to Sunday. I love it. I work. So when I say come on, I mean come on. You've got to work with me. Nah, I don't wanna see any fake ass workers. I need real builders. Work, work it. Work, work to be a winner. Sweat, work it. Sweat, sweat to be a winner. I wanna smell you. Yeah, I wanna smell you. I wanna smell you even from far away. I wanna smell you. I wanna feel you. So I can know if you're a winner, baby. Work, work it. Work, work to be a winner. Winners, work it good. Sweat, sweat to be a winner. How does that feel? Tell me, how does that feel? Is sweat dripping down your balls? Well, then you're not a winner yet. But come on. Work, work it. Work, work to be a winner. Sweat, work it. Work, work to be a winner. Understanding. I need to explain one last thing to you. When I say work, I mean you've got to work for yourself. Love yourself. Feed yourself. So you can be a winner. All together. Work. Work it. Work. Work to be a winner. Winners, work it good. Sweat, sweat to be a winner. Work, yeah, work it. Work, work to be a winner. 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 Work.
With no trivia, roll like cocaine straight from Bolivia. My hip hop will rock and shock the nation like the Emancipation Proclamation. We MCs approach with slang is dead. Them eyes are running to the wall and bang your head. I push a post, my force you're doubting. I'm making devils cower to the caucus mountain.
Well, I'm Messiah. I set the microphone on fire. Rap Yo techno. Yo techno. Yo techno. Yo techno. Yo techno.
Okay, we're live. Welcome to Beyond Normal Days, Keenan.
Yo, what up?
Thank you for being on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No, it's a pleasure. So, first things first, let's tell the listeners where you're from.
From Whittier, 562.
Whittier, California.
Well, actually, I grew up on the north side of Whittier, so that was actually like by like Hacienda Heights area. So that's technically 626.
Okay. So there's a
Area code.
difference.
I mean, it was like unincorporated Whittier, but still Whittier just because of like the zip code. You know?
I guess it could be kind of like, I guess in the Inland Empire,
It's
it's
just like on the
909,
outskirts,
951.
I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But I rep 562 because like this is basically my stomping grounds, you know? Like.
And is this still considered East LA?
Yeah, this is like southeast LA.
Okay.
So it's like, I mean, you wouldn't necessarily call it LA. It's Whittier, but it's still like in LA County. So it's like the
Yeah.
suburbs of Whittier, you know?
Oh, okay, yeah. You see, that's one thing as well too. That like, you know, me from the Inland Empire. I guess I'm not too, educated. I guess like the sectors or what's
Yeah.
what, whatever. But to me, it's like okay, it's LA. So
Yeah. I mean,
okay,
still LA.
lit. But that's a crucial part as well too of why we're doing this interview because, growing up in LA, and specifically other parts of LA, they have a history in like party scenes, rave culture, electronic music specifically as well too.
Yeah.
So if you got in to see, I guess the evolution, the change, and stuff like that as well too. But
Mhm.
before we get into all those details and everything, what was your musical upbringing like? Or how did you get into electronic music, or what was before electronic music, or maybe that was your first? dab
Yeah,
of music,
for
not
sure. Shit. I mean, it's kind of like, how do I trace it back? Because it wasn't necessarily just like one instance.
Yeah.
But let me try to pinpoint it. I guess like the start of it would be that I can remember. Like this was like back in the MySpace days.
Yeah.
I think I was probably like freshman in high school, maybe like a sophomore. My brother was like, he was like on like a music downloading spree one day. I think it was on like fucking like LimeWire or some shit.
Oh, LimeWire, that's crazy. Damn.
Shout out LimeWire.
Yeah, that was intense. Yeah, all the
all the viruses.
Yeah, exactly. And then like all the threats that you're getting and stuff, and then you're downloading something and it wasn't even that.
Someone just fucking dropped their mixtape on.
Yeah,
the,
no.
like,
What was that? What was that Bill Clinton one that would show up or something, like the Bill Clinton speech or something?
What? Fuck, I didn't get that one.
Oh, never mind. Then, never mind, bro. Yeah. But
So yeah, like my bro was just like downloading music,
yeah.
and then he downloaded like a bunch of like Daft Punk. I was like, oh, like this is tight. Like I remember like hearing the name Daft Punk,
Yeah.
but I didn't know what it was. And like I listened to it and I was like, this is like really cool. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I knew what electronic music was,
Yeah.
but like I didn't really know artists and stuff. I mean, if you want to take it like way back, I would say like the movie Hackers. I don't know.
Oh,
It's like a
sure.
90s movie,
Okay.
but it's basically just about a bunch of hackers in New York City in the 90s. And the soundtrack was so good. It had like
Ah.
Underworld, Chemical Brothers,
Oh,
Prodigy.
damn.
I remember
Oh,
my
damn.
uncle showing me that movie. And I remember just like being really into the soundtrack. Like, yo, this is like super tight. So I guess you could take it further back than that. But what I'm talking about right now is basically he put me on like Daft Punk. And then I just remember like obviously like MySpace was like really big on like being a platform for music.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
With the music profiles and all that. So I looked them up on MySpace, and like I saw their top 8, and they had like all of their like homies like or like just people that they were affiliated. They
Yeah.
were also making music, and on there was like all the Ed Banger like producers like
Yeah.
Mr. Oizo, Kavinsky, like DJ Mehdi,
Yeah.
Boys Noise, Sebastian,
Okay. Yeah.
all of that. So then like that was kind of just like the gateway for me to like
Yeah.
explore and find new artists. So it
Okay.
started with Daft Punk,
Yeah.
and then like through MySpace I like
Yeah.
found them, and then it kind of just expanded and expanded from
But
there.
that even that usually happens as well too. You know, like you go through one artist from there, and then you see their affiliations or
Totally.
you know who they worked with, whatever it is. You know, but
Yeah,
that's, like,
totally.
yeah, that's cool. And then so this was sophomore year, freshman year of college, first 2 years. I mean,
Uh,
high school.
High school, yeah, high school. So I was
And-
probably like 15, 16.
And at this time, were you raving, or how was that like?
No, I
Or
was
when did
not.
that
I
get
was
in?
not raving. I don't even think my friends were really raving, but I remember like, I think it was like 2008, which
Yeah.
was like maybe like a year or two after.
Yeah.
Like I had like a few of my best friends like went to Coachella that year, 2008.
Yeah.
And like I just remember them coming back and they were just like raving about this artist. It turned out to be Deadmau5.
Oh shit.
So I didn't know who the fuck Deadmau5 was.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck is this guy? And like, they like posted a video of like them just in the Sahara tent, like super
like going to
basic
Wall right now, but,
production
like, yeah,
back
but-
then.
yeah,
It was
that's
just
what
like
I-
a white tent with like some fucking LEDs in the back.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of like the Sahara tent. It was
Like
it was much smaller as
the
well
early
too. As well
days of
too.
the
Yeah.
Sahara tent.
Yeah.
But anyways, they like posted a video and it's like some guy like on stage
With
with
the
a fucking red mouse
yeah.
head. And I was like, dude, this is kind of like wild. Like I'd never seen anything like it, you know? So like they were just like having a blast. And like, I think that was maybe one of the first times I heard about Coachella.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, like after that, they kind of sparked something with them. So they started going to events, like they started going to raves and
Yeah.
stuff. But I wasn't really going out that much because I don't know, like my parents were like kind of strict, so I
Same,
didn't really have the
yeah.
freedom to like go out and stay out all night and
Yeah.
like do stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I was kind of just like low key jealous, like, oh, like they're doing their thing, but it's cool, like
Yeah.
it's all good, like I'll get to do that one day.
Yeah. Now
So-
you're even facilitating the soundtrack to those, well, you know, to the parties and
Yeah.
everything as well too.
Yeah, go figure.
But-
But yeah, I mean, I wasn't raving back
Oh, okay. And your homies, like, because I'm trying to picture who they were. That's like some of them who are still your friends currently right now, like meaning like
Yeah,
they're still
definitely.
around.
then. Yeah, people that I still hang out with to this day and that I like consider like really good friends.
Okay. And then when did you get involved, or when did you discover the underground like scene in electronic music? You know, specifically in LA, because I know LA has a, you know,
Yeah.
it's known or it has a,
The underground scene. Well, I mean, I guess the underground scene.
or was it even like considered the underground because it can just be like, okay, it's just-
Well, I mean, I guess you could say the underground scene for me started like with like backyard parties, like East LA,
okay, yeah.
like
yeah.
Pico Rivera, fucking Montebello,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Whittier,
Okay.
it's like all the surrounding areas of like East LA. Like,
Were you in a party crew?
no, I wasn't. I wasn't in a party crew. I was just like a young kid, like
Okay.
like 15, 16, like just like finding out about the music. And I just remember like a vivid moment, like going into like my first party,
Yeah.
like first backyard party. I had like lied to my mom and told her I was spending the night at like one of my
Your
friends' houses.
house, yeah.
So I like had the freedom to stay out and do whatever. And like we went to a party, and then it's probably cliche to say, but
Change your life. No, I'm just kidding.
no, that there was a song playing, and it was the fucking the Justice remix of "We Are Your Friends," the Simeon.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember hearing that song, and I was like, "Yo!" Like, I asked my friend, like, "Yo, what is this track? This track bangs, whatever."
Yeah.
And like, yeah, like this is Justice versus Simeon, like, and like that was like the track at the time, like, and it's still like kind of iconic. Like,
Yeah, big
when you
time,
think
yeah.
of like that era, it's like you think of that song, you know?
And that's the cool thing about like looking back at that, you know, times and everything is like you can look back at tracks or, you know, listen back to tracks and, you know, put yourself back in that.
Oh, yeah, let me get you a beer, man.
I'm down. A little
I'm over
brewski
here
right now.
sipping,
Yeah.
and you're like,
Take one. Hey, okay.
take
Thank
this.
you. Thank you. Hey,
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers. And the cool thing that you say about like backyard parties or just house parties, that has a history in LA as well too, you know, like in the hard house.
Yeah, totally.
back in the day and stuff like that. And that's why I always bring up Hard House. Like, man, like, because I listened to it back, and then I'm like, damn, that's crazy. This was the soundtrack to those backyard parties, those house parties, you know, that were here in, you know, Whittier, East LA, how you said, Montebello, Pico Rivera, and all that stuff. When did you get into DJing, sort of that? Was that kind of even later after the whole party goer? Because even my friends even say they're like, you know, I was a party goer first before a DJ, you know, and then from there it kind of evolved. Or what sparked your interest into even want to even get behind the decks?
From going to backyard parties in high school, like, I was doing that for a while, and then like my friends were doing that, but simultaneously like they're going to like raves, and they're going to like fuck, what were the promotion, like Fresh
Productions? Oh yeah, like
Winter Fresh, and stuff like that, yeah. Like, and then
probably Monster
I think it was
Massive.
called, fuck, what was the other one called? Well, yeah, obviously those
Juju
like
Beats?
Like yeah, that was one of them.
I
Like
just
Go
listen to
Ventures, Insomniac.
Yeah, you seen, like,
there was like some smaller ones too.
Okay, yeah.
Forgot the names, but whatever. They were going to those, and like I said, like I wasn't like really able to go out and do those things. Yeah. But I remember, like, I think I was probably like a junior year. My friend Dre, he
AKA Since
Since When.
Yeah.
He's also a producer. So Dre was like my best friend, and he was like, man, you need to just like fucking come out with us to one of these things already. Like, I think he was taking like some girl with him, but she bailed for whatever reason.
Yeah.
He's like, I got an extra ticket, so like you better get your ass to come with us, whatever. So I like finessed something, like made up some lie to my mom, and like
3 days. 3+.
No, it was just a one night thing.
Oh, okay,
It was just a one night party.
okay,
It was at the Shrine Auditorium. So
Okay, yeah.
ended up going out with them to that, but it ended so badly. Like I got to the party and like took ecstasy for the first time, and then for whatever reason my mom started blowing up my phone.
Oh.
And she's like, where are you? Like, you need to come home. Like, cause she called me, and like I picked up the phone, and obviously there's like loud music playing in the background.
Yeah.
And she's like, you're not where you say you are. I said I was at like a friend's house. So she's like, if you don't get home right now, like, you're gonna be in so much trouble. And I was like, fuck, like I'm really fucked.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, so long story short, my homie ended up taking me home. And I went home, and I was like straight up rolling.
I know I was gonna ask you, like, you're still like dilated pupils.
I
and
remember
everything?
just like rolling in the car ride back, and I was
Oh my
like,
god,
fuck, this is so fucked.
Oh my god.
And like I got home, and like I was in trouble, obviously, and like they're like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I'm just faded. I just smoked some weed. They're like, just go to your room. And then I just went to my room, and I was just like rolling in my room, like in the dark.
That's so. Hey, well, at least they kind of like, you know, ended up like, no, you know, just be able to write it out.
I was like kind of in trouble after that, but
yeah, sure though. But
so yeah, my first rave experience was fail. But then my next one was like Nocturnal 2009.
Okay.
And yeah, that was like when it like really like sparked it for me.
Was I guess at that time was techno, because techno has always been a thing, but for people, you know, but like, you know,
they weren't booking any techno talent.
Okay, like that. That's
at the time.
So, yeah.
At those events.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like back then, like I was into like electro house.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And like dubstep had like just started getting big over here in the States.
But it was like kind of like maybe more authentic. Like
Yeah,
dubstep,
definitely.
right?
Definitely. So like the stage that I was at that event, like for the most of the time was, forget the name of the stage, whatever.
Yeah.
But it was Scream and Benga.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
that was like the divining set for the night for me.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
like,
I've seen them actually before. Well, actually, don't they make Magnetic?
Oh yeah, that came after, but
okay,
it
but
was
that
just like
after, yeah.
It was just like super raw, like fucking like dubstep, like UK dubstep. Not this was before like the Skrillex era.
Yeah.
Shit. So it was just like
became more commercialized in a sense, you know, like.
Yeah, it was just
Commercial
like
sound.
raw like UK dubstep, just playing records, and like it's the first time I ever saw anybody do like a spin back. And I remember I was like what? Like
what the
fuck?
hell is?
They just kept doing it. There's like play a record.
And they do it so smooth too, as well too. Like I've seen when people do like a spin back, but they just continue to drop the other track, but it's so like on point.
Yeah, I mean it
And
wasn't
it's-
it wasn't even necessarily it was on point. It was just that like it was kind of just like a fuck you like to
Like, I
like
have
the
control
standard
of this. I
way
have
of
control of,
DJing,
like,
you
in a
know,
sense,
like
yeah.
like it's just, I hadn't seen it before, so it's just like really like dope,
Yeah.
for lack of a better word, to see like them do that live. And then they had like a live MC like
Oh,
spinning
yeah, I
over
saw
it,
that.
which was also cool to see.
And
But-
when did you get your hands on like maybe like was it turntables before CDJs or?
Technically, yeah. So I guess in the sense of like actual like DJ like hardware equipment.
Yeah.
Before that, it was like virtual DJ. Like
Oh, okay.
I got put onto it somehow,
Yeah.
and I downloaded a bootleg copy, or maybe it was just a free trial. I
I
don't
know.
know.
I think I've had the free trial.
I think it was a free trial. Whatever.
Yeah.
Got virtual DJ, fucked around on it, and then I just kind of had it, like
Yeah.
just like if I got bored, I'd pull it out, like mess around.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can't remember. That was probably like around like the end of like high school, like so 2010 ish.
So you graduated 2010?
Yeah.
Same. That's crazy.
But
But you see, but I'm kind of like a little late bloomer because my first rave, or I guess mass, if you want to call it, was 2012 for Beyond Wonderland. And I remember that.
was that the year that it rained?
Yes, it did. Yeah, it rained. Yeah, it rained, and yeah, that was like my first time as well too. I remember I was like soaking wet. I was like, what the hell? But I had fun.
Yeah,
and then
for
at that
sure.
time they had I think RUSE was opening at some
Acid
certain
Circus.
stage. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So stuff like that. So I was like, I didn't even go to that stage. I went like kind of in different stages, whatever, and just kind of got introduced to what I guess raving was, because when I
Mhm.
started DJing, it was my homie's backyard or garage. His uncle had turntables
Mhm.
and everything. And then
Yeah.
they're like, "Yo, let's go to rave and stuff. So at this time, were you, because I know you're some of your homies as well too, like I know you're associated with Textrio.
Yeah.
And this is before Textrio.
Yeah.
Um,
Way before. So yeah, segueing back into your question, I was like fucking around on virtual DJ, and then like right around the end of 2010, I got introduced to one of my good friend's cousins. Her name's Pascal, who's one of my really good friends, still to this day. She was a DJ, and we'd go to her house. And like she'd let us throw parties at her house all the time. She's a little bit older than us, but she like had a Serato setup, so it's 2 turntables with the red and blue control vinyl
Yeah.
and a laptop. And that's like the first time I ever got my hands on like actual like decks.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So like once I got a taste of that, I was going over like all the
Almost every
time,
day.
like 3 times a week, maybe even more, just like practicing, like
Yeah.
I just wanted to learn. I was so eager to learn it.
That's tight. You did Serato as well too. I did Serato too.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't touched Serato since those
No, same.
days.
But yeah. I guess at that time, did you come up with the already like your DJ alias? You're like, okay, I'm gonna be DJing.
No, not at all.
It was just, oh, that's cool. That's still because you started as like you just wanting to do the art.
I just
The art
yeah.
form,
I mean, it was like we were always throwing parties there. Like those are actually some wild times. It was like a bunch of us were like from the ages of like 16 to like 21, and we were just partying there like all the time, and like kind of just had freedom to do whatever at this house.
Yeah.
And
And this was here in LA or Whittier?
This is in Whittier, yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, obviously, if we're partying, like we wanted to hear music, so it was all of us like taking turns.
That's tight, and
like,
that's cool.
playing
That's
music.
that's the kind of like a little bit like how my homie and I used to do. We used to just DJ in his garage, like literally like in the morning till daytime. Of course, take breaks to go get something to eat. But it was during the summer. I remember when we like peaked and trying to like really like just master the DJ and whatever it was, But like
Yeah.
all day and everything as well too. And were you part of I guess like I'm not sure if it's called not a party crew, but like an event you know, I guess promo
no,
involved?
well, I guess, yeah. Well, we did actually. Now that I think of it, I totally forgot about this. Well, me and like all my homies, we had a crew. It's dumb, but like we're young and like we call ourselves DK.
DK?
Like, don't know, drunk kids. It's a bunch of different uses for
Okay.
for the acronym, but
Yeah.
call ourselves DK. And our friend Michael, aka Monkey.
Oh, hey, shout out.
Shout out Monkey. His dad owned a house in Pomona, and this house had like a 1 acre backyard.
What the hell?
And like his dad was like super chill, like he let us throw parties there. So we started throwing parties.
Yeah.
And well, actually I think the parties started at Dre's house in Ontario. Like he lived with his like aunt and his grandma, and they were super cool. Like they let us throw parties there. So we were throwing parties, like backyard parties in like Ontario, Pomona, just like IE,
Yeah.
because that's where we had like the space to do it.
Yeah.
And we we were promoting the parties under the name DK, like DK Productions, DK
Damn, that's some
Events.
exclusive stuff.
Super exclusive. So yeah, we're throwing these parties, and like people would come, like a bunch of kids would come from Whittier, like surrounding areas of Whittier.
And were you DJing these parties?
Yeah, we all were.
Sick.
Like,
okay.
so this is kind of like how we like, I guess, started out. Like,
yeah.
like we're just throwing these parties, and like they got so big. Like I remember at one point, like we had a party there, and we literally had like 3 different stages
What?
in this in this 1 acre backyard. And like it was just madness. Like so many people would come out to these parties.
And the DJs would be like you, Billy.
It would be like myself, Billy,
I'm trying to like
Nathan,
Oh,
138.
Steven? Was Steven?
Steven.
No,
Yeah, Steven.
Tension.
Tension, yes.
Yeah. Because I've seen pictures of him like also like DJing, and I'm like, oh damn, look. You know?
Yeah, Steven. Shit, just like all of us. We'd all like
that's tight.
get on it.
That's sick.
And then we'd obviously invite like other people like to
Yeah.
come play our parties. So like, yeah, that was a time. Like those parties were wild.
And so that you would consider maybe that was like your first official like parties that you
Yeah,
know?
definitely my first official like
Yeah.
times that I like got to like DJ for like a crowd.
And what transitioned or what from those parties, how did it evolve to like something more official?
Or
Becoming more like, I guess, being part of the actual like community and scene.
I mean,
the techno
well,
scene in LA.
we had been throwing these like parties, and like
Yeah.
kind of just got to a point where like we wanted to take it a little bit more serious.
Yeah.
So Danny Template, he was
Mhm.
also involved with these DK parties.
Okay.
Him and like Billy, like they're like, hey, we should like start throwing like actual like events.
Mm.
And there was this it was like a juice bar in Uptown Whittier. Uptown Whittier is like a little strip of like restaurants and bars, and it's called Phoenix. That's the name of the venue. So
Does it still exist?
no,
Okay.
R.I.P. Phoenix.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's like a juice bar in Uptown Whittier, and they like we knew the owner. He was a really cool guy. He's actually passed away. So R.I.P. Kyle. And like he was just like one of the nicest people who was just like so supportive of like the arts, like and like local artists in the community. So he would let like artists, like musicians, like throw like shows there.
Okay.
So there was already shows going on there.
Yeah.
And Billy, because our friend Martin worked there, or one of our really close friends, Martin.
Yeah.
So he like kind of like talked to the owner Kyle, and it's like, hey, like have my friends, like they're DJs, and they want to like start throwing parties, like some of like a
Yeah.
residency like here. So that's how Involve
Yeah, okay,
crew
that's
kind of like started. Like the parties were called Involve,
Yeah.
and started off just like as a party, then just turned into like a little collective of like artists, like DJs.
And you went to that party. I'm guessing it was thrown there. I saw Danny posted up a recent flyer like on Twitter. Not recent, but a couple weeks ago. You know.
Was it
That-
the one with Cell Injection?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, and it
Yeah.
also had Suerte and Temple.
Yeah,
as well,
so
too?
so we started throwing these parties, and like people would come because no one was really doing that like in the area, especially like Whittier of all
Whittier,
places.
yeah,
Who would have
yeah.
thought like would be
That's
a home for
crazy.
like house and techno
That's
music.
crazy.
So I remember like one night like the Droid guys pulled up.
That's what. No, continue, because I was gonna say like, how did that even like connection in
Yeah.
a sense come about?
Like the Droid guys just pulled up to our party, and like they checked it out, and then like they're like, I don't know, I guess they kind of saw us as like the new generation, like
Yeah.
young guys doing it, and like they supported us. So then like that's how we made connections with them, and then that's how we ended up getting Cell Injection to play,
Yeah,
Drum
that's-
Cell and
And audio
Truncate.
injection. Yeah.
Well, audio injection.
Yeah.
He was like pushing audio injection more back then, but now he's
Yeah,
like
now
more
it's
focused on Truncate.
Yeah.
So we got Drum Cell and Truncate to play as Cell Injection in Whittier at a fucking juice bar.
Damn, that's crazy.
So
That's
yeah,
crazy. If you really think of like, you know, because that's the thing though. Like a lot of people can be like, oh, you know, it's Truncated, you know, it's locals, you know, but dude, they've done so much.
yeah,
Like
definitely.
just in techno specifically, you know, not just LA techno, but just in general, you know.
For us, it was just like a dream. Like, it just kind of like escalated really quickly. So
And that's crazy because I remember one time I was talking to Kyle, you know, Kay Galindo, and I'm like, and I asked him too. I'm like, how did that connection come about? You know, all the short guys, like, you know, and that's what he kind of said as well too. He showed up to,
yeah,
because Kyle was involved at this.
Kyle was
yeah.
a part of Involve. To be honest, I wasn't like in like those were obviously my best friends, but I
Yeah.
wasn't like a part of the actual Involve crew. I was just like an
Okay,
affiliate.
okay. Yeah, yeah.
Like those are my friends doing it, and I was just like aspiring
Yeah,
like to be a DJ.
that's tight though. That's
So,
sick though,
um,
because that's what usually even kind of happens, you know, like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, for
So-
the most part, you're there, you're supporting no matter what.
Yeah,
so.
definitely. I was at every single event. And, like, it's funny. It was like 21 plus
Oh, it
to
was?
get in. Yeah, it was, because I served beer in there, and like
Yeah.
I had to use a fake ID every night to get in.
Oh, damn.
It's funny. But yeah, like going back to Kyle, like they made the connection with Kyle. Like I guess he just like they connected with him like
Yeah.
just through the scene,
Yeah.
and I met him there, and like then he became part of Involve, and then eventually they asked me to play like one of the
In
nights,
parties, yeah.
and I played, and that night they're like, hey, like we want you to be part of the team,
Oh, sick. That's
like
tight.
we want you on. So
Yeah.
after that I was part of the team.
And because of course Involve doesn't exist now. You know, it's kind of formed in maybe different, if you want to call
Yeah.
it. Maybe, you know,
So,
some is
yeah, I mean-
non-textual, some is RUSE.
Yeah, like Phoenix, like
Doesn't
closed.
exist.
Yeah, it closed down,
Yeah.
and then shortly after that, it was like probably like 2013, 2014, early.
Yeah.
Involve kind of like just disbanded, and like everyone kind of just like just focused on other things. Like
yeah.
Billy and Nathan had just started 138, their
Yeah, that-
collaborative project, and then
So
Danny
badass.
was just still doing his thing, DJing. Kyle was still doing his thing. I was just doing my thing.
And then was it like maybe like a little break when you were DJing, or?
Yeah, I mean, the beginning for me was just like super inconsistent. Like the parties that I was playing would be like the Involve parties or just like
Yeah.
backyard functions.
Okay. But still, the cool thing, like now to look back at those parties, like, you know, and like how, you know, like notable you guys are in a sense as well too. It's
Mhm.
kind of, that's how it always kind of starts off, you know, it's they're intimate, you know,
Mhm.
gatherings in a sense. And when did you start doing more stuff with like 138? Because I know you went on tour with them, you know, like not specifically DJing, but you went
Yeah.
on tour, like, you know,
Well,
to Europe
I mean,
and stuff, like hanging out and stuff.
Nathan, I've known him for years. Like I met him in middle school actually.
oh, that's
So
crazy.
he's like one of my like oldest friends. So we actually like we had like a guitar class together in middle school, and like as part of the guitar class we would like perform like covers of songs, and like we would just do like Blink 182 covers.
Hey.
And I didn't play any instruments, so I was a singer, and he was a guitarist.
So you used to sing in the Blink
Yeah.
182 editions?
It was just strictly Blink covers. It was pretty funny, but
We're gonna have to do a Keenan live set and get you on the vocals one time.
maybe. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, obviously I've known like Billy and Nathan for like years,
Yeah.
and those have been like two of my best friends. So like their 138 project just like took off, and then they went to like, they made a record, and they just like did like a self-funded like trip,
Okay.
and they like booked like a couple shows like in Europe. I think it was like in like Italy and somewhere else. I forgot. That was the first time they went. I didn't go with them.
Oh, okay.
But after that, like they went with their like stack of records, and they just like gave them out, and then they like shit picked up for them, and then next thing you know, like a year later, maybe like a couple months later, they're going out for their second tour. And I had never been to Europe, so I was like yo, like I'm gonna be out there when you guys are there, and they kind of just like invited me to come along.
Hey.
So I went out on tour with them.
Yeah.
The first time. It was like 2015 summer.
And that was kind of because that's the Voltage Festival, like where you
No,
can see
that
yourself?
was
Oh, no,
that was
that's-
the second time I went.
Oh, that's the second time. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
And any cool stories about that first Euro trip?
Yeah, I mean, I guess some of the ones that are more memorable would be like the second time around that I went. There was one story in particular. We were at Berghain, and
Oh shit! So you've gone there.
yeah, I got in.
Wait,
Actually, the
before that, how is it hard? Wait, before your story, is there like a specific like? Do you think it's really that hard to get in, or if you look?
I mean, their door policy is kind of silly, but I understand like what they're trying to do with it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like they're trying to like curate the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, my understanding of it is they kind of judge you in like a second once you get to the front of the line, and if they feel like you don't have anything to like offer to the party, then they're just gonna tell you no. But it's funny because the first time I actually went there, I got denied. Yeah, like
I'm getting denied for sure. Then, damn, damn.
yeah, I got rejected.
Wait, they really? For real?
Yeah,
Well, I
it was
remember this-
It was Nathan and I actually. It was like
What?
the first time I went to Berlin, like 2015, and like him and I went, and there wasn't even a line to get in. It was weird because there's always a fucking line. But I guess we went kind of early. It was like Saturday.
Kind of early.
It was like Saturday or like Sunday morning, and it was maybe like 2 a.m. and there was like 4 people ahead of us, 6 people, something like that.
Yeah.
And like the first group or the first couple in front got in, or they got denied, and then the couple in front of us got in, and then Nathan and I pulled up, and then they just like looked. The guy just looked at us, and he was just like, "Sorry, guys." It was kind of like he knew we like were American, but I don't know if that's the reason why.
Yeah.
Who knows why?
Yeah.
To be honest, I mean,
Not even like a hey, what's up? I'm here at Bergen. It's just quick, like.
no,
just-
they don't do that. It's just like yes or no. Like if they ask you like how many you're with, that's
You're in.
that's how you know.
You're
Like
in.
they'll like ask you how many, and like sometimes it'll be like German or sometimes they'll just ask you in English. But yeah, the first time I went, got denied. But went back the next weekend, and we got in all weekend.
Mhm.
It was Nathan and I.
Have you stayed there for? What's the longest you stayed there?
The longest I stayed there was, I think maybe like 10 hours or something.
God damn.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was. 'Cause like I remember we went, and Nathan and I went on like Saturday night, but I guess technically it was like Sunday morning.
Okay, yeah.
We stood there for like several hours, and then like we went back to our flat and like we rested, and then we came back because like once you have like a stamp,
Oh, you can re-enter.
you're able to re-enter for the weekend. So we got in and we stayed. I think it was like 10 hours. Like we were there for like the closing, and that was fucking sick. And like Marcel Fangler was the closer.
Damn.
Yeah.
Have you gone into one of the rooms where like,
The what?
one of the rooms where
Oh.
yeah, I guess you can kind of like
I didn't like really see any of the rooms, but there is like little like cuts. Like it's a big place.
Yeah.
So there's like lots of like little like dark areas where shit goes down. And I mean, all over the whole club, you see like pretty wild shit.
Okay,
To be honest,
yeah.
like the bathrooms are crazy.
Oh, for reals.
Yeah. But yeah, and then there was another time when I went back, 2017. I wasn't really planning on going. We were at Griesmühle, which is another like club in Berlin. It's for this party called like Cocktail. It's like a queer party, but had a really cool lineup. It's just like really cool party to be at. It's like kind of like a day party, but it's like a weekender as well. So we were there, and then like one of our friends was like, "Hey, let's go to Berghain." Like I'm kind of over it, so it's like, fuck it, let's go. And then we went. We got in, no problem. And I had bumped into someone that I met at Tresor the weekend before, who is actually the girlfriend of Ben Klock's manager. So we were like partying with her the weekend before, and she was really cool, and like she fucked with us. So we were just like hanging inside Berghain, and I just remember like going to the bar, and she was there, and Ben Klock was just like chilling there, and she's like, "Oh hey, I want you to meet somebody."
Meet Ben. It's
And
the
then
homie
this
Ben.
is Ben. And
Oh
it's
my
like,
god.
It's like, yeah, I know who you are. I mean, I didn't say that, but I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
"Oh hey, what's up?" And then like the party continued, and then we were just in there partying, and then she was like, "Hey, like we're gonna like take off to my flat and just like have like after hours here. So if you want to come by, like you're more than welcome to." So I ended up going there, and
Was Ben
Ben
there?
Klock was just there, just like posted up on the couch, just chilling. And also ATAP Kyle was there too.
Oh.
So they were both. I think like I'm pretty sure that her boyfriend manages both
Both
of
of them are, yeah, okay.
So they were there, just like posted up, just like chilling. And I was like, what the fuck am I even doing here? Like,
It's that meme
I
of
ain't
that
shit.
with that little kid with the glass of milk, kind of like
Yeah,
just
that
kinda
was
like looking
that
at
was
it like-
that was totally me. And then they had like decks like set up in the kitchen, like CDJs. And then they're like, do you want to play some music? So then I ended up just like playing music for the party. Ben Klock just like sitting on the couch.
Wow.
Just fucking pretty surreal.
Wow. Damn. So you DJ'd for Blank Clock.
Yeah.
Cool question. Do you know about this? Like his name is Ben Clock, but do you know that guy from DC, like the shoes, whatever, Ken Block?
Why does that sound really familiar?
It's he does like I know he's come out on the Rob Dyrdek show a couple times as a guest.
Oh,
whatever, but
yeah. I
it's that
remember him.
Tracer dude, or whatever.
Ken Block.
Yeah,
Ben
so
Klock.
you see, I'm a little bit late bloomer. So when I first heard of Ben Clock, I'm like, oh, okay, a typical DJ thing that does like switches the letters on a name or something. But that's his probably official name, or
I have no idea, to be
that's
honest.
just so Ben. If you listen to this, what is it?
Hey Ben, hit me up, man.
Yeah,
remember-
Keenan
do you
DJ'd
remember
for
that
yeah,
time?
Keenan DJ'd for you.
Do you remember?
And then also ATAP Kyle.
And ATAP too.
Fuck, that's sick. And that was, were you already like DJing at that time? Like like officially like you.
I mean, yeah, I was like,
Well, yeah, of course you were able to go on to CDJ
Yeah.
and throw on some tracks
Yeah,
like
exactly.
that. Yeah, so that's what I consider like DJing. You're able to.
yeah, I didn't have like a
show up,
USB or anything. It was like there's like a USB already plugged in.
Okay, so you were going through the tracks.
And so I was
there
just
as
like
well,
picking
too.
tracks.
That's
So it
sick,
wasn't
yeah.
like a super like
Hey, but
memorable
still.
set. I was just like
No, heck
selecting
yeah, that's a
tracks.
memorable set. Like that's tight. Like that's like a. Okay, maybe the tracks that you didn't play, but I guess just the environment. You know, just the.
Yeah, no, that was a wild morning.
Was Nathan and Billy with you, or?
Nathan was. It was like Nathan and like Kieran and some.
Ansem.
Yeah.
You see, like, and that's like you guys consider him like homies, but to me,
Yeah.
like, I mean, to me, that's like a big dude.
I mean,
too.
Billy and Nathan introduced
Yeah.
me to him, so I was able, like, being out there, I was able to like become homies with like Ansem and like Anthony Iracana and like Charlton, Ossian.
Yeah.
That's like the Berlin.
Ossian, yeah, with the OSSIN.
Yeah, those are like the
He
Berlin.
does jiu-jitsu.
He does. I see him
remember, yeah.
training. Shout out Oz.
Yeah. Damn, that's crazy. That's sick. And can you tell me, did you go to the music video where you guys were gonna do for 138, and also Ansem and Anthony were there, but the music video never came out.
Yeah.
But that was basically you guys to do a party for a music video, no?
Yeah, we did. Like, that was like Billy's like idea, his vision. It was supposed to be for the like one of their tracks, Hold Your Horse.
Horses, yeah.
And
Hold
like
Your
it was supposed to be like a music video, and like we filmed some, but it was mostly just us like partying, like, and it just never even came out.
No, but to me, I was like, that's a sick ass like a thing, because of course, there's gonna be like like some like guess people throw
Yeah, it was
parties
just
for music videos too.
it was just
so.
rare to have like Aracana and
Yeah,
Ansem
you
there
guys-
at the same
yeah,
time.
that
So
was- and that's why when I look at you guys, like, through the outsider perspective on Instagram, I'm like, that's crazy. Like, you guys are all homies. You guys all. It's kind of like, oh, it's Keenan. What's up, man?
yeah, I mean, we're all just regular people,
But I'm still tripping. Like, hey, meet Ben. I know who you are.
Yeah, I mean,
Has there been any other moments like that? Like, you kind of like a little surreal.
like, let me think. I mean, there's definitely like been like just like other like.
Was there any sketch moments in
like
Europe?
silly stories? Sketch moments? Just like getting caught on the U-Bahn, the subway, like for not paying for a ticket.
Oh,
like,
shit. So what happens there?
Like they have like essentially like the whole time like we're in Berlin, like we never like paid for a ticket. We'd pay like every now and then, but like most of the time we're just taking free rides. But they have like undercover security who like are just like dressed as like normal people, and they'll like creep up on you and like randomly like ask for your tickets. And then there's a time where they caught us, and then we basically just played stupid. We're like,
we're sorry, like.
they're like, let me see your ID. And we're like, oh, we don't have your ID. Like, let me see your passport. Like, well, we don't have a passport. Like, we just got here. Like, just played
But they won't
dumb,
search
played
you,
all
right?
innocent.
They won't search you, like.
I mean, they tried to like hold us, but then we kind of just like bribed our way out of it.
Okay, like.
And they're like, all right, just give us this much money, and we'll let you guys go.
Damn, what the? And that's in Berlin.
That's in Berlin.
So what would you consider like some of the coolest, like different? What's maybe your favorite spot in Europe? Because you've gone to Amsterdam, you've gone to Berlin.
I guess you could say Berlin would be my favorite place.
Yeah. Hey, you can walk around in Berlin and just be drinking, huh?
For the most part, all of Europe is like that. Like,
okay.
that's why it was like such a big like culture shock for me when I went there. Like we'd be coming home from like the party at like, it'd be like Monday morning, like I don't know, like 10 a.m., 9 a.m., 8 a.m., whatever.
And it's like a normal thing.
And like people are just like on like the train, but like it'd be in the morning, and like you see like a guy in like a business in like a suit, like with a briefcase, but he'd be like drinking a beer like super casually.
Oh shit. Well, you see, that's exactly what maybe like American culture is kind of like a little bit like wanting to like. I don't know, it's a lot of restrictions, I guess, in a sense, So that's why I remember, like, when Elijah and I went to Amsterdam, we're like, yo, what the heck? This is crazy. We want to live here. Like, imagine getting, like, a job at a record store and also at a coffee shop. You're set. You're
Be a
good.
dream for sure.
And then DJing throughout the, like, say, like, some gigs, you're already, like, being able to play some proper music for people who are trying to listen to proper music.
For sure. Definitely be a dream.
I'll still dream, I guess. But,
we took shots with DJ Stingray at the bar.
I'm sorry, but I love DJ Stingray.
Shout out Stingray. That was cool.
Did you see him without a mask?
Did
you see him without a mask?
Yes. Honestly, I can't remember. I was fucked up. But like we were just like, it was like a really like, I forgot like what night it was. I think it was like promoting the night of DJ Stingray's like album. It's like a mix album.
Okay.
On Tresor Records, but it was like a stacked night. It was like Exaltix, Helena Hoff, DJ Stingray.
That's
and like
crazy.
And like we were just like hanging out like backstage at Tresor because we have a friend who works the bar at Tresor, so we would just be there like every weekend.
Dang, so you got to Tresor.
We went there quite a few times.
Yeah.
That past trip in summer 2017, and like we were just like backstage, and DJ Stingray pulled up and he had like a bottle.
I would have fainted low key.
And he was just like, y'all want some shots? And then we just like all took
like,
shots.
What?
But he ripped it like.
Dude, DJ, that's crazy. I've been listening to DJ Stingray. Like I listen to him like maybe like a set of him like every other day, or like at least once a week.
Yeah.
He's tight. I remember when I was like looking him up, like his history and everything, and he used to tour with Drexia.
Dude,
you know,
yes,
so, like,
Drexia.
Like, yeah, that dope electro.
Oh my god, legendary shit, iconic.
But let's track it back to your DJ, if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what to even call it, like a DJ career or your DJ
sure.
experience.
Sure.
I know you had other or more memorable gigs before the one I'm gonna mention right now, which is the RUSE party with the presented Hector Oaks.
Yeah.
You opened up that night. You played also alongside Santiago Salazar and Hector Oaks. How was that? Because that's a sick ass lineup.
That was a cool lineup. That was a really fun night. It was a great time warming up for Santiago.
Yeah. He's a legend, so I was like, damn.
Yeah, definitely. Sick. Like, I remember he even like kind of like gave me props after. I think he posted like a picture of me like on his Instagram.
That's tight.
Like Keenan like warming up the decks proper, and I was like, fuck, like,
dude,
that's sick. Like,
and it's crazy because
getting props from an OG.
Yeah, dude, and that and then just mentioning the word OG, like from an outsider's perspective, somebody who, because you mentioned 2009, 2008, and at that time I don't think I wasn't even in specifically listened to, I probably of course came across some electronic music tracks or some electronic tracks, but that wasn't my thing, skating, listening to rock or alternative rock, punk rock, whatever it was, and then a little bit later, I think. Towards the last years of high school, that's when I kind of started gravitating more to electronic music, and then the DJing aspect of it, and then I guess the party aspect, which is the house parties, which evolved to the raves and festivals, and then kind of died down because I stopped going to festivals in a sense, or those big old type things in recent years. But I was able to take my my family member,
to the party?
Yeah, like a cousin type thing, and it was tight because I'm like, dude, look, the opener, he's as sick as LA local,
Hey, thank you, man. Thank you for that.
And then Santiago Salazar, he's a freaking legend. And Hector Oaks, I'm like, dude, he's another dope ass person.
It was like a well curated lineup that night. It was a really fun party, and that was actually my second time seeing Hector.
Oh. So you saw Hector maybe in Europe?
I saw him at Tresor.
Oh.
At the Heron Sauna party.
Oh,
they do those regularly in Tresor.
That's how you went to one. I heard a sauna one.
Yes, that was wild. That was fucking nutty. But yeah, he was playing under his alias Cadence.
Oh yeah, Cadence. Yeah.
That I believe he does exclusively for Heron Sauna parties.
Oh really?
If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, you're right. Well, the most recent one. Well, I know he did. They did a horizontal Boiler Room. Mm-hmm. They did it, and he went as Cadency.
Yeah.
When they presented him, give it up for Hector Oaks or as Cadency.
Yeah. So I had heard of Hector Oaks. I'd never seen him.
Yeah.
But then the first time I saw him that night at Heron Sauna was as Cadency, and he just pulled up with his records, and he fucking ripped it. He was just going through records, put on a record, play it for a minute, mix into the other record, a minute, pull out another record, put it on, just back and forth.
And see, and that's the cool thing about like even like turntablism, you know, like, you know, when it comes back to like, you know, maybe like hip hop, you know, if you're like, you know, beat juggling in a sense, you know, he plays a minute because he knows what, you know, what aspect of, or, you know, of the track, you know, to be able to kind
So
of
impressive. Like,
yeah. And I remember when I saw him for that RUSE party, I was like legit like looking at him. I wasn't even like at one point not even like dancing because I was just like staring. I'm like, what?
Just watching him,
Yeah,
like,
that's crazy.
do magic.
It was, and so clean, so precise as well too. I was like, wow, this is amazing. Until, you know, what? How was it? A year ago? A year and a half ago?
The RUSE party?
Yeah.
That was just about a year ago. I remember
Yeah,
it was
so-
like April, I
And
think.
I'm still talking about it. And I saw my cousin yesterday. I told him, like, dude, you still went to one of the dopest parties in LA in recent, you know.
That
recent
was
years,
that
so-
was a great night, and hopefully we can bring Hector back sometime soon, because
And I think the next day, Hector Oaks, you know, posted up on Facebook, you know, like something like, it's cool to see that there's still like, you know, like kids in LA or something, like, you know, still holding it down, like in a sense for the underground, in a sense.
yeah, I mean,
I was
it's
like,
only
that was
getting
so badass.
it's only getting bigger at this point.
True. And I guess mentioning RUSE, how did your union come about? Because you're part of the RUSE roster.
Yeah, so going back to after Involve kind of ended, just doing my own thing, and Danny and Kyle started up RUSE. I think it was probably like around 2015, 2016, maybe. I don't even remember. I'm like fucking up the dates. Who knows? They started up RUSE, and I was like, hell yeah! Like, they're keeping it going. Like,
Yeah.
it was just Danny, Kyle, and then Nancy, like, helping them out. Like,
yeah.
and they threw a few parties, and then they asked me to play the party with Hector, and played the party with Hector, and then it wasn't till just like a few months
Yeah,
ago.
I was saying it because at that time when you opened up for Hector in
Mhm.
Santiago,
I wasn't
yeah,
on the
you
RUSE.
weren't officially.
I wasn't
part of RUSE,
officially
yeah,
on like the RUSE team, so
'Cause
yeah.
They made the announcement. My bad. They made the announcement for you and Annika.
Yeah, shout out Annika.
Yeah.
So yeah, they obviously, like, Annika is someone who we connected with like within the past year, and obviously vibe with totally. She's like on the same
Yeah,
wavelength,
dude,
and
she's
not only
amazing.
that, she's super talented. So, I mean, I think it was kind of like, I guess, destined for me to end up on RUSE.
Yeah.
Just
It makes
because
sense, to
those
be
are my
honest,
homies,
when I look at it,
and
yeah.
like we both, like, we're all trying to do the same thing. So yeah, they asked me if I wanted to be a part of RUSE, and they announced Annika and myself to the RUSE team.
And would you consider your first official RUSE party the San Francisco gig when you guys played for?
For Robot Ears.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess so, because that's like technically the first party that I played as being a part of like the RUSE roster. So yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
that was,
And how was that gig? I know I wanted to make it out so bad, but
to be honest, it was, we made the best of it. Let's just put it that way, because Anitha was actually supposed to be the headliner for that night,
but something about maybe visa or something
but
happened. Or couldn't make
she
it?
had to back out because I guess like the promoter, or I don't know, whoever was facilitating like her visa
Yeah.
for USA or whatever, I'm not too sure how the process works, kind of like
Mhm.
dropped the ball, whatever, and she wasn't able to play. So
Damn.
like that happened literally like 2 days before the gig. We found out about that, but they're like, the party's still going on, like
Of course.
so we're still down to go out. So obviously Anitha didn't play, so there wasn't as many people as we had expected, but it was still a good
Wow.
time, you know. We made
Yeah.
the best of it. So
Yeah, and the cool thing is being able to play out like a different city, you know, specifically.
yeah, it
you
was
know,
my
San
first time
Francisco.
playing in San Francisco, so
That's tight. Kind of like a little check mark.
I was happy to be there.
And how would you describe like your style of DJing? Because I know, like, you know, when you play, like when I seen you play, you know, it's kind of, want to say, like very like jacky, or very like, you know, want to call it like, you know, like it's like very like, you know, it's techno, but it's also has that like, I don't say like that Detroit ghetto like techno like kind of feel in a sense.
I'd like to think that as well. I guess the best way you could describe it is when I play, it kind of like walks a fine line between house and techno.
Okay, yeah.
Like I don't know, usually like kind of start off playing like some like moody, like deeper stuff.
Yeah.
And then like kind of get into like some like jackin stuff, and
Yeah,
then
that's,
maybe like finish off with like some electro or like techno.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. There we go. Electro. You play some electro with some dope electro.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess
tracks.
that's the best in a nutshell how you could describe a Keenan set.
But also too, it sucks too. Like I don't want to just put it in a category. People should just go check it out as well, to the vibe, the party.
Yeah, of course. It depends on the party, like where I'm playing, like who else I'm playing with.
And you also produce though, so. And I was able to drop one of the exclusive tracks. It was a collaboration track between you and
Billy. Yeah.
Yeah. Mas Ass.
Mas Ass.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, if you guys need to check it out, it's on the 5th episode of this podcast, which is the January episode.
January.
Because I wanted to start off, well, the one that passed, the past one.
Yeah.
So,
of course.
And so how did you get into producing? That came after DJ, or were you already producing?
No, I was a DJ first, and one of my close friends, Brian, he got me a cracked copy of Ableton, probably like around maybe like 2016, 2015. And then I was kind of just like messing around on it, like wasn't really taking it seriously. Oh yeah, grab another beer, man.
Mind popping it up for me?
Let me pop
know.
it up and let's make this thing pop off.
Y'all hear that?
Ooh.
There we go. Smooth. Thank you so much.
Cheers again, man.
Cheers.
So what was I saying? Oh yeah, so my friend got me
Brian.
my friend Brian, shout out Brian. He got me a cracked copy of Ableton, and I was just fucking around on it, like, to be honest, like kind of like just didn't really know what the fuck I was doing, like. So I was just like trying to learn it, but like wasn't taking it too seriously.
Yeah.
And like I'd watch like YouTube tutorials and like had like a small understanding of how it worked and like the interface.
Yeah.
And yeah, it wasn't until like about when I was the second tour I did with 138 when I went with them.
Yeah.
I mean, I had like made some projects. They were just like loops, like they weren't like really like composed or like organized or anything. But I remember like we were just like chilling at our flat like one night in Berlin, and like Billy had like, he saw that I was like working on something, and he was like, oh, let me hear it. So I showed it to him, and then I was kind of just like asking him like questions, just like tips, like, oh, like how could I do this,
Yeah.
and he was just like showing me some things, and then like he like brought out his like analog 4, and then we just like started like making the project that I had started into like a whole new track.
Oh shit.
And we actually finished the track that night. It's called Never Sour. That's actually the first track we made together.
Is it out, or did you guys put it out?
Not officially, but it's on SoundCloud.
Oh, okay.
So that's the first Gyration station.
I know, and that's the thing we're gonna
track.
get into as well too, because you and Billy, so it's Gyration Station. Damn, that's tight.
Yeah,
so,
but
that's a duo in a sense.
Yeah,
Or
it's
a project.
It's a collaborative project between
Yeah.
myself and Bill.
And how's that? Because I actually got to see your debut set at
At the apartment.
Yeah, at the apartment. That was so crazy. And a little confession then, if we're talking about ecstasy earlier. I was on a good one. Honestly, yeah, and Elijah too. Sorry, Elijah, but yeah, we were on one, and like legit to see you guys, like it was just like an amazing set, and then just amplified in a sense was crazy.
Well, yeah.
It was dope. It was so crazy. It was so amazing.
Dude, thank you.
I think you guys even opened up with "Freak Like Me" by DJ Dion. When I heard they're like,
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, here it goes. I was like, no.
You
need a freak like me
to make love to your body.
I was like, here it goes, and legit, I was like,
hey, shout out Chicago, shout out Ghetto House, shout out Dance Mania Records.
Yeah, that was so tight, and that's exactly when I got. And I think that's would be would that be kind of maybe the sound that you guys were trying to go for that set as well too? Because it wasn't like just like banging techno. It was like just so like
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say that's like a main influence for myself, my own productions, as well as Gyration Station. Heavily influential. So, yeah, I mean, I think we played like a lot of like ghetto house.
How did you think about that set though? Because you know how I'm thinking over here, like, damn, that shit was crazy.
It was fun. I had a really good time. That's actually the only show we've ever played together, to be honest.
Oh damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And are you guys gonna plan to do a little bit more?
Yeah, totally. Right now, all we have is those 2 tracks that we made together. But I'm actually gonna take a trip up to NYC next month.
Oh yeah, because he's out there, huh, Billy?
Yeah, Billy's staying there right now, so.
And the cool thing is that like maybe like a union of like, I guess of my peeps and your peeps. You know, Roscoe's out there in Brooklyn as well too.
Shout out Roscoe.
I'm not sure it's Brooklyn now, but New York as well too. They were working on a track, or working on some stuff.
Yeah, I saw that
they
were like just fucking around, jamming, like whatever. I don't know.
I was like, that's so sick.
But yeah,
and,
it'd be cool to link up with Roscoe out there too.
True. Yeah, you have to.
I feel like he's kind of like on the same wavelength.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, he's. Oh man, shout out to you, Roscoe. Like for real, every time we do a podcast episode, you come out. So you need to be on this thing soon.
Roscoe.
So, that homie, Sir Roscoe. But,
so yeah, I plan on writing some new Gyration Station tracks. While I'm there, I'll be there for like 2 weeks. So definitely get back in the studio with Bill.
Yeah, and do you well, how did the name come about? Like,
fuck, how did it come about? Honestly, I don't know. Like, I think I remember I was just like running one day. I went for like a jog by my house, and it just popped into my head. I don't know, like,
because that's not even like an actual term. Like I looked it up on Google, Gyration Station.
Yeah, gyration. Like it means like to like move and like like a circular motion, like
so that kind of,
I don't know, like you're getting it, like gyration.
And then it kind of Gyration Station, kind of like it goes.
Yeah,
so it's
like I said, like it just popped into my head, like, and I just like initially I used it as a title for one of my DJ mixes that I uploaded onto SoundCloud.
Oh, that's sick.
And I was like, I really like this name, so I think my intention was to make it like a mix series.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Or maybe even like a record label.
Oh, that would be sick. Well, you still could, to be honest.
Yeah, totally. So Billy and I had made those tracks, and we're like, we didn't necessarily want to just call it like Suerte and Keenan.
Okay. Yeah.
So he's like, do you have any ideas? And I was like, well, how about Gyration Station? And we both just like agreed on it. So that's how it came about.
And like with your music production as well too, because I know you said like, it's been not too long that you've been producing it as well too, but I know you posted up that little clip like recently, you picked up quick though.
Yeah, I mean, I've been very grateful to have like close friends who are.
I know, because actually all your homies, like also Steven, well, I say all your homies, but like Steven, Tension,
like
all you guys produce.
A lot of my friends have been like doing it for like years, so
yeah,
I've been very grateful to have close friends who like actually know what they're fucking doing.
Yeah,
because I still feel like I don't even know what I'm doing, to be quite honest.
Well, no, I think you actually are knowing how to do something, because to me I was like, damn, look at that video, looks sick ass, like groove.
Yeah, so I mean,
pattern. Use your mini log, right?
Yeah, I mean, my main workhorses right now is Minilog, BassBot, which is a 303 clone.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Damn, that's sick.
And a Native Instruments machine.
Okay.
With Ableton, so that's my current setup at the moment.
Can we expect any Keenan tracks or?
Yeah, definitely. So there's actually a release, my debut release, I guess you could say.
Oh yeah, because technically
as myself, which is a 2-track EP, which is going to be released on Akela Recordings.
Yeah.
Which
Shout
is,
out to Annika. Yeah, her Her imprint.
which is her imprint. The tracks have been pretty much done for a while, but you know, like things take time, obviously, like
yeah, of course, yeah.
to like be completed.
Yeah.
So that's in the pipeline, waiting
Okay.
on a remix for the 2-track EP from Nathan.
Oh yeah, I think you did one time tell me like I think you said that too. That
Yeah, so he's gonna do one of the remixes, and Annika's gonna do the other remix. So it'll be
Oh, you said
4 tracks total, 2 originals from me, and then 2 remixes.
fresh. That's so fresh.
So yeah, we have that, and then RUSE will actually be releasing a compilation. I don't think it's even been announced yet. So
Hey,
sorry guys,
apologize. I know.
sorry guys if I like
I've had
jumped the
this man before, I
gun,
know
but
this is like exclusive stuff. So
RUSE is gonna be doing a VA. So like 1 track
From, like, all the-
everybody
Yeah.
on the roster. So I got a track finished for that as well.
that's tight. Damn, that's so sick. That's gonna get me excited though. and so we talked a little bit like, you know, your music as well too, and everything as well too. And I can't let this go. But are you a fashion model?
A what?
Are you a fashion model?
No.
But you're
I'm
into
not.
fashion though, like you're, well, not like, okay, I don't say like specifically okay fashion, because I know it's kind of maybe cliche, but you know, you have style, you know, like you're into
Well, I don't know, man. Like, I'm definitely not a model. I work for a fashion e-commerce website.
Okay.
Like they sell luxury clothes.
Okay.
So I think after I started working there, like, I guess my taste kind of got.
Actually, not even though, because even before I remember,
Stop
I think,
it.
yeah, no, I remember like you would like, you know, like, I don't know.
Well, I guess you
but
could
it's like
s-
simple, but you already had okay, like the pre like style, like what you can kind of like, you know, work what you got in a
Nah,
sense, whatever.
well, yeah. Well, appreciate that. But yeah, I guess you could say that kind of like amplified it.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I've never like really modeled seriously. Like friends have like asked me like to do shoots and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I have a friend, Tommy. He has a brand called Bedlam Affinity Co. And he's making like one-off like DIY pieces from like vintage clothing and like
Okay.
kind of like painting on them or like stitching them up with other clothes to make like
Yeah.
one-off pieces.
Okay.
He asked me to like model some of his stuff, and then so yeah, I mean, if people ask me to do it, like I'm
Mhm.
happy to do it, but by no means an actual model.
I don't know. I'm like, I told Moondog, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna interview Keenan. And he's like, oh damn, that's gonna be sick. And then I told him like, hey, would it be weird if I ask him like if he's like a model? Like I know he's into like fashion and everything as well too. Like, you know, he has style and everything as well too. And
Hey, that's much appreciated, man.
hey, yeah, no, yeah. And so you see, you know, we've gotten to talk about like your experience in Whittier and the party scene, the rave scene, the techno scene specific, you know, or just overall electronic music. What do you think about the like current state of Los Angeles techno?
I mean,
the
it's
scene,
definitely
the parties.
definitely thriving.
Yeah.
Like it's changed quite a bit since I first started getting into like these underground parties, like
Yeah.
especially within the house and techno scene. It's just getting bigger and bigger at this point.
Because can you recall like how would it be like, you know, going to the, because okay, how many interfaces have you gone to? I don't want to like label it as, like, how many you've gone, but like
I think the first one I went to was like 2013, I believe.
okay.
It was like one of their
See, that was 6 years ago in a sense. So that's
yeah,
that's
it was
a
like
good time.
2013, I believe. And then shoot, maybe like a few like after that.
Yeah. And you see how would you compare like maybe the environment compared to now, the parties that are thrown now and stuff?
I mean,
Is there a distinction?
I guess you could say it's just become a little bit more commercial, for lack of a better word. Like before, it was still like relatively like considered like a subculture. I guess it still is, but like now you have like those like Factory 93 parties, like Insomniac is
yeah.
throwing like these quote unquote underground events, and
Oh,
that's
I
like
see
how
what you
they
mean, a
that's how they
subculture, though.
that's how they like market it, but it's really not like underground. It's like
Yeah.
the address is online. Like you can literally just like.
So when you were going to like parties and everything, did you ever go to those like map point parties type parties? Or was that dying down already?
No, well, I mean the first ones I went to was I think the first interface I went to, like you had to text a number.
Oh.
And then they texted you back with an address.
Oh,
and
so
then
in a sense that was like.
And then you'd
real
go
modern map
go
place.
to the address location.
Yeah.
And then at that location you would buy your ticket and they'd give you the address of the actual party.
Okay, yeah, that's that map point type thing.
So, yeah.
That's sick. That's tight.
So that's how it was when I first started going. Now it's like with like Resident Advisor and like Restless Nights and all that. It's,
Yeah.
I mean, they still don't put the address out there, but like you buy your ticket and then once you pay for your ticket, they send it to you like a few hours
Through an
before the
email.
actual event.
Yeah. Damn, that's crazy. That's sick. You see, and that's why exactly I remember I didn't even finish my comment, and when I went back to like we were talking about the Hector Oaks when you mentioned the name or the term OG. I'm like, from I guess an outsider's perspective, but I guess now in a sense, being involved and engaging with everybody, is that I consider you like a mini OG, like you
Mini OG.
Yeah, I guess I don't even know if it's like but I call them mini OGs, like the next generation of like the Droid Behavior crew and all those people, because those are your homies now in a sense.
Yeah, right? Shout out the Droid crew. They're all really good guys.
Now
I feel like
Observe, so
yeah, now it's Observe. They're doing really cool parties.
Yeah, you went to the Observe party. I know we saw each other.
Yeah, that was a good party.
That
really
was
good.
That was super.
Now
sick.
they're taking it like to other states.
Yeah,
like I
they
think
did
they have like
Miami?
Chicago lined up. They did Miami. So.
Kay Galindo, he put Observe Chirac.
Oh fuck, that's what's up.
Remember, I was
fucking
like,
Kyle.
Fucking Kyle. I was like, but is there any? So you talk. There's gonna be some releases with Aquila, and then you're gonna go to New York. Well, hopefully link up with Billy.
Yeah,
to do some Gyration
that's the plan.
Do you have any like maybe gigs coming up or anything as well too?
No gigs at the moment. Just
Okay.
kind of focusing on putting out some original music, but. Yeah, I mean, if y'all want to book me, hit me up.
What's the email? No, I'm just kidding. Or well, I guess Instagram kind of works in a sense.
Hit me up on Instagram, Gyration_station.
Gyration_station. Twitter.
Yeah, I have Twitter as well.
You gotta say it. You gotta say the OG name.
I don't even want to say it. It's like an old like.
Actually, yeah. Before we even
like,
talk about that, how did that even come about? Because I used to see that name.
It's Peace Boner, but with 3 R's. That came about. There's an Animal Collective song.
Oh, okay.
But it's called Peace Bone.
Oh, okay.
And like when I first got on Twitter, like I didn't know what the fuck I wanted my like handle to be, so I really liked the song, and I was like, oh, it could be kind of cheeky to add like an R at the end, so it's like Peace Boner. But yeah.
But it's that I actually like those like names as well too, and people who actually kind of keep them in a sense, even after they even got kind of like big or whatever, it's that cool like internet handle.
Yeah, some people were like, oh, why'd you change it? I was like,
no, but it's cool that you changed it, like you kind of like took control of it for the Instagram one, or like first dibs on it.
Yeah,
but still keep it for Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter is just gonna stay OG,
Ooh, okay, so we can find you Twitter, Instagram,
SoundCloud. It's Keenan, but it's soundcloud.com/K and then 333NAN.
Oh, there we go.
Just Keenan was taken, so.
Damn. Alrighty though.
So whoever's got that, shoot it my way.
I know, shoot it over.
It's
kind of like, I remember, like the Beyond Normal one. They actually just at Beyond Normal for Twitter. Nobody's using it. It doesn't have it. Like they gotta.
That's always how it is. Like
somebody
like who's actually doing something, like they're like the handle that their artist name is under is like taken by like someone who's not even like.
Yeah, or not even not even associated with them. Or maybe they have like some type of. Well, the picture looks like this old guy, so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That fool.
That sucked up, but yeah. So but again, I want to thank you for like allowing me to come over and talk to you.
Thanks for having me, man.
Document this timestamp in electronic music, in techno, because Keenan, I know you're doing dope stuff, and you're gonna continue doing like dope stuff
Appreciate that, man.
For the scene.
Appreciate that. And you too, man. You got that gig coming up.
Oh, the Synthetic Minds and
Yeah.
excuse me, Shadow and Obscure Shape. From what we think of, it's May 4th, but I think we're closing that night for the most
Ooh,
part. So
well, should be spicy.
it should be spicy, but I'm a sleepyhead. So
Just, take your nap before.
I know, that's exactly what I told Elijah. I'm like, I'm gonna have to really, take that nap.
Then pull up late.
Yeah, and
That's how
then
it is.
but it is gonna be killer, so I'm excited for that as
Yeah,
well
man.
too. So, and
Stoked to check it out.
yeah, so thank you for
Yeah,
that.
man.
And I guess we're signing off. Thank
Signing
you
off.
again.
Well,
This was the Keenan episode on Beyond Normal Days.
hey, man.
Hopefully
Cheers.
we can do another one. So cheers, last cheers.
See y'all.
Bye bye, everybody.